Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the CHTV social channels. Hope you're having a great day this Thursday afternoon as the Packers are just about wrapping up their joint practice with the Colts as I go live. And on balance, it sure sounds like and feels like the defense for both teams has really put the screws to the opposing offense throughout the proceedings. Somewhat expected, especially on the Packers side with so many guys banged up. I'm sure many of you saw the video from Matt Schneidman of the receivers coming out on the practice field, and it's like a clown car of injured Packers wide receivers, one by one, making their way out there. Jordan Love in Indianapolis got a cast on that left hand / lower arm, and Malik Willis is your quarterback one for the day. But the story very much clearly is the defense, and that is throughout, not just the ones, but the ones, twos, and threes. The Packers defense absolutely suffocating the Colts on all levels. In fact, right before I went live, Isaiah Simmons picked off Daniel Jones. So it has been a sack fest. It has been a turnover fest. The Packers creating a ton of turnovers on defense. But on the flip side, yes, not a whole lot going on offensively for the Packers, which, again, not too surprising. But obviously, it's not quite over yet. I know they're doing 2-minute drill as we speak, but for the majority of this practice, it has been a defensive show. And once again, and probably most, I would say, excitingly, is the fact that Lucas Van Ness continues to cook. I know a lot has been said about his good start to camp, whether that was family night, whether it's been practices at Reinitschke Field, the limited amount of work he got against the Jets. But I'm telling you, this is starting to become a pattern where each and every day he is making a handful of plays that make you sit up and take notice. And that seems to have occurred yet again here in Indianapolis against the Colts starters. So good to see him building on what has been a very promising start to training camp and the preseason. Hopefully we get more to look at in that regard on Saturday, though I'm not so sure how much of those frontline guys are going to even play. I suspect not only will many, if not most, of the offensive starters sit Saturday against the Colts, I would suspect most of the starters on defense will most likely take a seat. So get ready for the twos and threes all throughout Saturday afternoon. I will not be live streaming during the game, but I will have a post-game chat once again, much like I did last week. So make sure you're tuning in here and make sure you're subscribed to the channel here, YouTube, wherever you get it, whether you're on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We're all over the place, but please, if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. What's going on, everybody? Good to see everybody in the comment section, mixing it up. I got people on Twitch saying hello. I got YouTube in the house. I got Facebook. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Before we get going, you guys know I got to give a shout out to our good friends over there at Ticket King. Based in Wisconsin since 1992, Ticket King is located across the street from Lambeau Field on Oneida. They're happy to help you find just the right tickets for Packers games, from larger groups to single tickets, both home and away. They partner with local Green Bay businesses for tailgating and bus transportation to the games, so you don't have to worry about driving or parking. They're even open on game day for last-minute tickets or possible upgrades. And if you're not in Green Bay, no problem. Just use the Ticket King link on the Cheesehead TV homepage or indeed in the description of this video. Don't use Ticketmaster, StubHub, SeatGeek, none of these national companies. Use a company based in Wisconsin since the early 90s. Ticket King for all your Packers ticket needs. How we doing, folks? All right, let's get to it. Got people lining up. We got some super chats here. What's going on, Cheesehead Joey? Thanks for the super chat, man. Come on, Ricky, don't let me down this time. I knew people would be talking about it. Yes, the infamous Twitter handle. I think it's gone through a number of different handles, but Ricky, as he's known on these Twitter streets, putting out there that supposedly humongous internet rumor, the Packers have an offer on the table with the Cowboys for Micah Parsons. I don't trust this at all, but I know the internet will be talking about it, so I will acknowledge Cheesehead Joey's super chat and say, yeah, okay, great, awesome. Doubt it'll ever happen, but if it does, Ricky will wear the crown. That is no doubt about it. But that's definitely filed into I'll believe it when I see it category. Rick Ward, thanks for the super chat, man. In Amari Rogers' rookie camp, all we heard from the media was how great he was. We saw how that went. Does your crystal ball say Golden will be different? I don't remember Amari Rogers getting rave reviews in training camp his rookie year. I remember him looking okay. It was nothing like what you've heard about Golden, not to my recollection. Golden's special. Golden's different. No, I don't feel the same vibe there at all in any way, shape, or form. This is very, very different. I think Golden's going to be a legit weapon instantly this year. I'm not saying he's going to come out and score a bunch of touchdowns right away. He's going to put up 100-yard games every week or anything like that. But he's going to be a pretty integral part of the offense. And I'll tell you what, because all these guys are missing so much time, that might even get accelerated just because he's going to be counted on to get through practices with the ones. But yeah, there's a very different set of skills at play there when Matthew Golden's on the field. I think he's legit as hell. And I think he's going to be exciting, and I think he's going to contribute right out of the gate for the Packers. Go Pack Go. What's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, how are you? I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. What does Nine have to do this year, if anything, to make a case for a second contract? Anything drastic, or does he just need to be him? I would say definitely the latter. I think just keep doing what he does when he's asked. And this is something I talked about with Billy on our conversation 2 days ago. I mean, think about the fact that even when he goes through stretches where he is not particularly productive, and this is what happened at the start of last season, right? First, like 8 or 9 games. Well, maybe not that many. I want to say 4 or 5 games, and then he got hurt in the Minnesota game. But he was not getting targeted a ton, didn't have a ton of opportunities. You never heard a peep out of the guy. All he did was go out there, block his ass off in the run game, get open when he could, and sometimes the ball came to him, sometimes it didn't. But, you know, as far as being a great teammate, a really talented player, and a guy who tries to make the most of every opportunity when he's out there and really doesn't have an attitude about anything other than working his ass off. I mean, yes, when he gets back, hopefully earlier rather than later, I suspect he will be obviously a part of the offense and he will put up numbers. I think that will do the work. I don't think he needs to do anything more than that, you know, and there are going to be times and days in particular defenses where he can take advantage and probably does get fed a little bit more. And then there are going to be weeks or maybe even stretches where he doesn't see the rock a whole lot. And he's just going to, I would suspect, keep doing what he's been doing. Come to work every day, work his ass off. And at the end of it, I think that he probably most likely will get a contract extension. I've been saying that all offseason. Now we'll see. You know, a lot can happen between now and then. He's got to get back on the field. There's no guarantee he's going to be right as soon as he gets back out there. No guarantee he is as explosive as he was prior to the ACL. You know, different guys react differently to that type of injury. So there's a lot of variables and a lot of context there. But as far as what he can control, he just needs to keep being the player he was prior to getting hurt. Because I think if he does, they'll probably give him or they'll want to give him an extension. E4. Just want to get back to knowing, in quotes, we are going to win every week. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? You feel like you're entitled to winning, maybe? I come in peace. I'm just saying, like, that's the whole point of Entitled Town, right? Enjoy what you've got. Revel in the wins. Be excited for winning. It's not easy. And the fact that the Packers made it look so fucking easy for 30 years should tell you something. They're really fucking good. That's a really good program. It's a really great franchise. But yes, I would love to get back to the fact that I expect this team to win 12, 13 games every year. And I suspect they'll be sniffing around that this season. But as far as knowing you're going to win every week, man, that is a real privilege. And hopefully they take that step this year and become that type of team. But it is not easy. It is not a given. You got to work your ass off to get there. And I think the Packers are doing that, but it's not automatic. We'll see what transpires. They're counting on a lot of guys developing, stepping up. We've talked about it all year. And hopefully that occurs. But man, that's what I talk about when I say you got to relish, you got to enjoy. And I've heard fans, and hell, I've heard people in the NFL talk about the fact that as you go along, the longer you're in this, you know, the losses hurt way more. That low is way lower than the highs are when you win. You know, suddenly you're sitting there going, yeah, we won another game. Great. Now I'm worried about next week. And then if you lose that game, it's like the worst feeling in the world. As opposed to you won a fucking game. And that's why they talk about like that 24-hour period where, man, we're not going to worry about next week. We're not going to worry about the next opponent. Just marinate in this victory because every one of them is so fucking hard. And I know I sound like an old man when I talk like this, but it is 1 billion% true. Christopher, thanks to the super chat, man. What player taking a step forward would have the biggest impact? I think LVN, a consistent edge rusher outside of 52, would really unlock the front seven, especially versus what they got from LVN a year ago. Oh, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. And I think you could make a case for Edgerrin Cooper being a very important component, no doubt about it. I think you look at offense, maybe Jordan Morgan taking a big step, you can make that case, but I agree with you, man. I don't think there's any other answer than Lucas Van Ness. Especially now, 2 years in, he's got to flip the switch. It has to happen, especially compared to what he's given you this first 2 years in the league. Now, I know there are mitigating circumstances last year because of the injury. That is all behind him. He's looking good this camp. Let's get after it. And I don't expect him to go out there and look like Lawrence Taylor or anything. I'm not saying that, but given what we've seen so far this summer, he should take a pretty significant step forward. And if he does do that, to your point, not only does that help Rashawn Gary not see as much attention as he does, but it helps your secondary, which is probably going to need it given the types of players they have back there. They've got talent, but it ain't like they got a ton of depth. And they are going to be asked to play at some point this season. And having a couple of pass rushers who can get after it will certainly help them. No doubt about it. Lawson, thank you for being a Carry the G Club member. Really appreciate you. Forget physical therapy and sports medicine. We all know the real cure for injuries is a cold can of Carry the G. Send a shipment to the pack ASAP. You know what? From your super chat or your Carry the G positing to the football god's ears, I think this is probably one of the best ideas I've heard in a very, very long time. And for those of you who don't know what he's referencing, let me give you a clue.
Well, we carry the G wherever we may be, so creamy and cold, and from the land of the green and gold.
Cream Ale, the official beer of Cheesehead TV. And speaking of Carry the G Cream Ale and where you might be able to try some, I've been telling you guys for about a month now, I want to say. We will be having an event the night before the season kicks off in Green Bay. Pretty much locked it down today. Still some I's to dot and T's to cross, but we will be announcing the Cheesehead TV public meetup. If anyone can come hang out. It's not an exclusive membership type thing. Anybody can come on out Saturday night prior to kickoff the next day, season kicking off. So that's Saturday, September 6th in Green Bay. It'll be around Lambeau Field. Details will be announced on Monday. I can't tell you how excited I am. Carry the G will be on offer. There will be music. There will be fun. There'll be drinks. It's going to be a great time. And come on out, hang out with Cheesehead TV, enjoy some beer, talk some football, and maybe enjoy some music. I can say no more, but announced on Monday. Make sure you circle your calendars. If you're in the Green Bay area, I hope you'll come out and join us September 6th, the evening of September 6th. It's going to be a good time. Cheesehead Joey, thanks again, man. When do we see the Matthew Golden 4th down sweep? I'm guessing probably week 2. Don't want to unleash it week 1, but, short week. You got it installed. You can call it on 4th down there against the Commanders. Lock it up. Give me week 2. Cheesy baby, what's going on, man? Carry the G is my favorite breakfast. I mean, let's be honest. It's the breakfast of champions, obviously. Mario, what's going on? Has Watson been out there yet or just on the sideline? How has he looked? I haven't been paying that much attention. He is not out there in the sense of participating in any kind of team stuff or even padded drills. He is not in pads. He is not participating in practice. He has only been doing individual rehab workouts. But that said, he has looked incredible. If you listen to my conversation with Billy the other day, Billy talked about how after not every practice, but there have been a handful of practices where he's done, he's sat there, done his kind of initial running, and then watched the entirety of practice. And then as everybody leaves, he holds his own individual workout, running, cutting, running routes, things like that. And he looks really impressive, especially for a guy who tore his ACL in late December. So, he is still on the PUP. He will be on the PUP to start the season. Gutekunst indicated that earlier this week. So that means he is mandated to miss the first 4 games. But then after that, we'll see. We'll most likely get some kind of indication at that point. They'll most likely bring him off of the PUP and open up what they, have to. It's called a 21-day window where they will have 3 weeks to evaluate, which I suspect they'll probably take. So I wouldn't expect him to come back right away after those first 4 games. I think if I had to guess, they'll take that full 21 days. So probably on day 20, they'll activate him to the 53-man roster. That, again, is just guesswork, but that's how it seems to be laying out for Watson's return. So we're still a ways away, but it is, again, very exciting for a guy who, is coming off a torn ACL. And I think a lot of people probably thought we weren't going to see him. At least I know I thought, that you can kiss that most of that season goodbye. I thought we'd see him maybe late November, early December. Feels like we're going to get him back at least a month earlier than that. Adam, there's no updates that I've seen yet. What is Savion Williams' injury? I know earlier in camp he had dealt with a concussion. He's been in and out of practice all camp long with various stuff, but I haven't seen today what the new kind of update is. But it's unfortunate. It's really frustrating because he's looked really good the few times we've gotten to see him, and the few times he's run with the ones, he's been effective. But yeah, it has been a frustrating summer for Savion Williams. He has just not been able to stay out on the field in any way at all. That you hate to see it, no doubt about it. Breaking news on September 6th. Yeah, exactly. The night before, they'll definitely wait for the Cheesehead TV gig to kick off, and then they'll be like, okay, now release the news because Nagler's busy, no doubt about it. Packers bye week is 5. This helps Watson. Yes, it does. Most certainly does. No doubt about it. Isaiah, I addressed this right at the top. I'll just put a button on it. I see some talk about Micah Parsons coming to Green Bay. What do you think, as in if, how, and when? I'm absolutely in the camp of you'll be able to knock me over with a feather if it actually happens. I'd love it to happen. It'd be amazing. But it's not something I'm truly entertaining and using my headspace for at this moment. I got a lot of other stuff going on in my life. Ian, how you doing, man? Thanks for the super chat. Dude, let's go Nags. Can't wait for the news Monday. I'll be there on the 6th. Go Pack Go. Halfley is the GOAT. Cowboy Coop is winning Defensive Player of the Year. Man, I cannot wait to watch Edgerrin Cooper get unleashed in this defense. And one thing I think people might be surprised when you watch him in year 2 is I think they're going to utilize him a whole hell of a lot more when it comes to rushing the passer. And I'm not saying they're going to go play him at edge or anything like that, but I think they are going to utilize his athleticism and explosiveness to try and get after the middle of their, opponents, the middle of the offensive line, really blow up those A gaps. And man, I can't wait to see him somewhat unleashed. Cannot wait. I'm very, very excited. What else we got here, folks? Carrie, what's going on? Nice. Can you see Goody taking or signing a vet lineman after camp for insurance? He did that some years back. I think it would pay dividends. Your thoughts? Are you talking, offensive or defensive linemen? They're always looking, right? They'll definitely be looking through the waiver wire, and they're constantly scouting and scouring the free agent market, etc., and looking at trades, no doubt about it, and other teams' practice squads. That business never stops. So if someone comes available that they've liked, I don't know who this would be, but if there's some lineman who maybe they had their eye on in the draft a couple years ago, and he ends up getting cut in somebody's camp, yeah, there's a chance they bring that guy in. But we're a ways away from getting there. When the 53 cut happens, I think you'll probably see something like that, so a transaction or two like that. But like big names, big trades, things like that, that would surprise me. I think they'll definitely churn a bit of the bottom of the roster, but that's probably the extent of it. All right, got that. Don't want to miss this one. What's going on? Guardians. Okay, good. Jeff, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for all you do. Is WTMJ streaming Saturday? I'm enjoying daily with the big glass of red wine. Who am I kidding? Bourbon for me. Jeff. I don't know if TMJ is streaming it. I'll probably be using NFL Plus because they do the out of market streams for all the preseason games. But I'll find out. That's a good question. Go Pack Go. Is BJ Raji or Johnny Jolly available? You know, I kind of miss the BJ Raji updates here on Daily. It's been a while. You know, we used to get that question daily, and now seems to have finally been accepted by the Packers fandom that BJ Raji is not returning. However, I'm sure Ryan Wood remains vigilant on the BJ Raji beat. You never know. All right, buddy, I'm going to have to get going. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.